Good morning and welcome to today's New York City Council hearing on the Committee of Zoning and Franchises. At this time during today's hearing, no one may approach the dais. If you'd like to testify today, please see one of the sergeant at arms to fill out a testimony slip. Please silence all electronic devices that you have. Chair, you may begin.
Good morning, everyone, and I'm sorry for my tardiness this morning. Welcome to the meeting of the Subcommittee on Zoning and Franchises. I'm Councilmember Kevin Riley, Chair of the Subcommittee. This morning, I'm joined by Councilmember Nycc and Lewis. Today, we are holding a number of public hearings, including Domino Site B under LUs 400 through 402, the 58 Nixon Court rezoning under LUs 405 and 406, the 464 Arlington Court rezoning under LUs 407 and 408, and the 5502 Flatlands Avenue rezoning under LUs 409 and 410. An application for a sidewalk cafe revocable consent for Avi's Place under LUs 403. And I would like to also announce that a public hearing that was noticed for this meeting for the St. Raymond Avenue demapping proposal will not be held, as that item was not called up and is not before the council for review. And also that the public hearing for LUs 392 for the Long Island City neighborhood rezoning mapping action is being deferred, and I will instead be heard at the next meeting of the subcommittee on Thursday, October 23rd at 11 a.m. This meeting is being held in hybrid format. Members of the public who wish to testify may testify in person or through Zoom. Members of the public wish to testify remotely may register by visiting the New York City Council's website at www.council.nyc.gov/land-use. To sign up, and for those of you here in person, please see one of the sergeant at arms to prepare and submit a speaker's card. Members of the public may also view a live stream broadcast of this meeting at the council's website. When you are called to testify before the subcommittee, if you are joining us remotely, you will remain muted until recognized by myself to speak. When you are recognized, your microphone will be unmuted. We will limit public testimony to 2 minutes per witness. If you have additional testimony that you would like the subcommittee to consider, or if you have written testimony that you would like to submit instead of appearing in person, please email it to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. Written testimony may be submitted up to 3 days after the hearing is closed. Please indicate LU number and or project name in the subject line of your email. We request that the witnesses joining us remotely remain in the meeting until excused by myself, as council members may have questions. Lastly, for everyone attending today's meeting, this is a government proceeding and the quorum must be observed at all times. Members of the public are asked not to speak during the meeting unless you are testifying. The witness table is reserved for people who are called to testify, and no video recording or photography is allowed from the witness table. Members of the public may not present audio or video recording as testimony, but may submit transcripts of such recording to Sergeant at Arms for inclusion in the hearing record. I will now open the public hearing on LU 409 and 410 for the 5502 Flatland Avenue rezoning, a private application requesting a zoning map amendment and related zoning text amendment to facilitate a development of approximately 36 dwelling units and commercial space. By changing from an R3-2 district to a R6A-C2-4 district and establishing a mandatory inclusionary housing area in Councilmember Narcisse's district in Brooklyn. For anyone wishing to testify regarding this proposal remotely, if you have not already done so, you must register online by visiting the council's website at council.nyc.gov/land-use. For anyone with us in person, please see one of the sergeant at arms to submit a speaker's card. If you prefer to submit written testimony, you can always do so by emailing it to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. I would now like to recognize Councilmember Narcisse to make any opening statements.
Good morning. Thank you, Chair. For our community, we're talking about District 46. We have been burned to some extent, I would say. But having said that, you came to the community board. I'm so appreciative of the time willing to engage with the community most of developers just have one side and then they don't want to be bothered. So now, having said that, I have some questions that I'm gonna put out there for you to see how the best way you can answer it, because the community, I'm sure some of them probably watching and want to know what we are getting ourselves into. I would like to have a sense of
Oh,
your
Councilmember,
yeah.
we're just
Oh,
going to
you
allow
wanna
him to
fin-
present, and
Okay.
then you could be able to ask questions after, all right?
I'm so fast to just
I know.
get to it.
All right. I will now call the applicant panel for proposal, which is Adam Rothkrug, appearing as land use counsel. Counsel, can you please administer the affirmation?
Mr. Rothkrug, would you please raise your right hand, state your name for the record?
Adam Rothkrug.
Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before the subcommittee and an answer to all council member questions?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. For the viewing public, if you need an accessible version of this presentation, please send an email request to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. And now the applicant team may begin. I just ask that you please reinstate your name, organization for the record.
Yes, thank you. I'm Adam Rothkrug of Rothkrug Inspector. My monitor is not working, but I can proceed. My name's Adam Rothkrug. I'm here in connection with the rezoning application involving the property at 5502 Flatlands Avenue between East 55th and East 56th. And you can go to slide 2 and then slide 3. The property consists of an irregularly shaped property, currently vacant, about 13,000 square feet in area, located in an R32 district. The block on which the site is located, as well to the east of the site, include a number of non-conforming commercial and automotive uses. And you can go to slide 4 and then slide 5. We're proposing to rezone the property to R6A with a C24 commercial overlay, which would permit development of either a one-story commercial building or a mixed-use building that could extend to 7 stories in height with commercial first floor and 6 stories of residential, approximately 49,000 square feet in area, approximately 34 apartments. In addition, our application requests a text change to designate the rezoned area as a mandatory inclusionary district with options 1 or 2, which would result in between 8 and 11 affordable residential districts. Let me just turn this on for you so you could have your presentation. Next slide, 6. While our client's initial plans revolved around the commercial overlay, after review and consultation, it was determined that the R6A residential zoning was appropriate. At this location, fronting on Flatlands Avenue, a 100-foot wide street in a community district that has not seen any affordable housing projects and very little new housing in general. Skip to the last slide. The lack of housing and affordable housing was cited by the borough president in his support of the application, noting that the site met the criteria for a housing site set forth in his comprehensive plan for Brooklyn. We met with Community Board 18, both before and after certification, and they've expressed strong opposition to the R6A component of the rezoning. No objection to the construction of a one-story commercial building or the commercial overlay. So based on those conversations, we have been in discussions with Councilperson Nycc, and we're trying to see whether there is a solution that would work, that would allow some new residential, would allow some introduction of affordable residential into the community. That said, this is an irregular triangular site. The site doesn't really lay out well for residential use, and as I said, our client's primary concern is really for the commercial development along Flatlands Avenue, which everyone believes is appropriate. So we're willing to continue to work with the councilperson and the community board. If there's a residential component that makes sense, fine. It may not be constructed anyway, but again, our client's principal interest is in the commercial development and overlay. So now I'm happy to take the councilperson's questions.
Thank you so much. So I just have a couple of questions, then I'll turn over to Councilmember Narcisse. So Adam, please state the goals and the rationale for the proposed R6A-C to C24 zoning district, and did you consider any alternative zoning district or conduct comprehensive scenario analysis for this lot?
So the original proposal only included the commercial overlay, and then after reviewing the site and discussions with various city agencies, it was determined that because this does front on Flatlands Avenue, 100-foot wide, and because of the lack of affordable housing that has been built in this community district, that the R6A would be appropriate. We struggled to come up with plans that, because it's a triangular site, that really made sense. But at the end of the day, we decided to proceed with the R6A. Again, it falls within the borough president's plans as far as his criteria for new residential development, and city planning was very supportive of the residential element. But again, our main concern and main goal is to build the commercial portion of the site.
Did you propose any residential unit mix?
The residential unit mix that's been submitted shows a total of 36 units with 11 affordable units, 5 at the 40% AMI, 2 at the 60% AMI, and 40 at the 80% AMI.
And what was the the unit mix? Studios, one bedrooms, twos.
We did not have a final mix,
Okay.
Designated.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Narcisse?
Thank you,
Just for
Chair.
the record, I just want to mention we've been joined by Councilmember Carr.
Thank you, Chair. The excitement of my part to get out, I just got to go. But I was going to put my question on you and run. So thank you, Chair, for telling me you have to hold back. You cannot put the question. But having said that, I've been working with you. I've seen the presentation over and over. And I was just getting to it. But for the public record, because we have people watching and want to know, can you give me a sense of the portfolio of the real estate?
Yeah,
that you're developing?
the owners of this property are own commercial real estate in New York City. They don't own residential. They have not developed residentially. So that is their portfolio.
Okay. Your initial intention was to develop a commercial building, right?
Correct.
How did your proposal change to include residential development?
So I'll take responsibility. We met with city planning. City planning was anxious or encouraging. Of course, they didn't demand that we do anything. They were anxious to encourage residential development, and after reviewing it with them, we thought it was appropriate, even though it was not really our intention. So we kind of again, we'll take responsibility for proceeding that way and not just saying we'll go with the commercial overlay. So probably our fault to some extent. But that said, the borough president's office, city planning, and we also believe that, again, in maybe not on this site, but theory-wise on Flatlands Avenue, a 100-foot wide street in this district that's seen very little affordable housing built, that it would be appropriate. That doesn't mean this is the right site for it. And obviously, when we met with the community, they were very strongly opposed to any residential. So we've left ourselves to be flexible with what you think is appropriate. We know the community did get burned on another project in the district. So we have certainly made it clear that we are willing to enter into legally binding, recorded restrictions on the property that would be enforceable by the community if there's some area in the middle, if there's some middle ground that makes sense.
I like to keep it real. Unlike most of the folks in my district, what you said, the last part for the Flatlands Avenue to afford some affordable, development there, if there's a possibility, if the height will be, set and the community come to an agreement, I think we can actually do our part. Having said that, being burned is not easy. So it's just like a cat, you burn in a hot water. When you see cold water, you run, and that's what's going on right now. And due to concerns about height, right? The height, Community Board 18 recommended disapproval of the 7-story mixed-use scenario, right? And recommended a 1-story commercial development instead. How do you respond to the feedback?
again, our main goal is to build the commercial element. As noted, the developers are commercial developers. I told the community that. So, again, even if the community said 3 or 4 stories was fine, I don't know if it would ever get built here because it might not be feasible. It's a triangular site. So we're talking kind of in hypotheticals because this project started 2 or 3 years ago. But our main goal has always been commercial development of the site.
The community is uneasy about a recent situation which we well aware, in which rezoning was approved by Community Board 15, sorry, for the property that was in Cole Street and changed into shelter. What can you say to the community to allay their concerns about this project?
Yeah, so I was not involved in that project, obviously. I have worked with many community boards and community organizations in implementing restrictive declarations that are legally binding, recorded documents that limit use of the property, that limit height of a property. That's something that the council does on projects on a regular basis. So we're more than willing to consider that. Again, if there is a middle ground, and again, I don't know 100% why it wasn't done in Coyle, but this, again, there are obviously, and you can certainly confirm with your council that there are ways to put in enforceable, legally binding, restrictive declarations on height, on use, on any number of elements that the city council considers.
Thank you. And I have to say that you have other property on Flatlands Avenue. And for that development company that you represent. And I don't have much to say, negative things to say about the community. And in the community board, you're willing to work with us, and we're willing to work with you. And that's where we are. This is the city of New York. That's our city, and we have to do our very best to maintain engagement. When we get community to be engaged, then we have to keep our words. So thank you.
Again, I would just like to reiterate that no one along the entire path of this application has had any objection to the commercial element. Right now, the property's zoned R32, so I think everyone agrees that's not appropriate, and everyone agrees that commercial development is appropriate. And at the end of the day, I think that's what we'd like to come out with at a minimum, and I think everyone would be happy with that, and happy to see this vacant lot developed.
Since I'm here to represent the people, so at the end of the day, majority of my district have to be in agreement for us to get moving forward with this project.
Absolutely.
So thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember Narcisse. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
There being no other members of the public who wish to testify on LUs 409 and 410 for 5502 Flatlands Avenue rezoning, the public hearing is now closed and the items are laid over. I will now open the public hearing for LU 403, a sidewalk cafe application by Ovi's Place for approximately 3 tables and 9 chairs located along Campus Road in Councilmember Lewis District in Brooklyn. For anyone wishing to testify regarding this proposal remotely, if you have not already done so, you must register online by visiting the council's website at council.nyc.gov/land use. I would now like to recognize Councilmember Lewis to make any opening statements.
Thank you, Chair Riley, for the opportunity to provide a statement today regarding the land use application number 403 concerning the request of Ovi's Place located in my district to operate a sidewalk cafe on Avenue H. At the outset, I want to acknowledge that small businesses like Ovi's Place are a vital part of the economic and social fabric of our neighborhoods. However, we must also balance this support with a clear responsibility to maintain accessibility, pedestrian safety, and quality of life to our residents. In this particular case, the sidewalk along Avenue H is simply not wide enough to safely accommodate tables, chairs, and regular pedestrian flow. Unlike other areas with broader sidewalks, this curved intersection poses significant congestion risks, especially for pedestrians, families with strollers, and wheelchair users. The location sits at a busy corner where residents, students, and commuters from commuters from Brooklyn College, the Triangle Junction Mall, and the Flatbush Avenue 25 train station all converge between Midwood and Flatbush. These concerns were also echoed by Community Board 14 during their public hearing on Thursday, August 7th, where the applicant did not attend. In their recommendation, CB 14 stated, and I quote, "Due to the absence of the applicant, CB 14 members were not able to gain clarification on concerns, including adequate sidewalk clearance, perimeter markings, or barricades, and appropriateness of street furniture," end quote. The local business improvement district, our local bid, has impressed a willingness to collaborate and help identify a feasible solution that supports both the business and the broader community. However, at this time, I cannot support this application. And while I cannot support it at this time, I look forward to the applicant carving out time to meet and have a discussion and collaborate with both the bid, the Community Board 14, and other stakeholders to find a pathway forward that reflects both our commitment to small business success and our duty to protect the public right-of-way. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember Lewis. I would now like to recognize the applicant panel who is joining us online. Paolo Oviedo, Council, can you please administer the affirmation? And Paolo, can you please unmute yourself?
Hi, how are you? My name is Pablo Viero. I'm the owner of this place.
Mr. Oviedo,
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before the subcommittee and in answer to all council member questions?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Okay, Paolo, just please reinstate your name and organization for the record, and you may begin with your testimony.
Okay, my name is Pablo Oviedo. I'm the owner of this place. And on the reason, we applied for the permit for have two tables over there. And according to the space, like the council said, it's not enough. We have the plans with the guidelines from the city, and we have enough space to put the tables right there. Besides that, we really don't, use the table for the restaurant only for the community too. So a lot of people over there, they're passing by, old people, women with kids and everything, that they sit there and rest. Old people go there and sit, they come out from the Target store with the big bags and they sit, they rest over there. So no, it's not only for the stores, only for the community help too. So that's the reason we put the tables there. And it goes with the, guidelines from the city. I think that's it. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you so much. There being no questions, you're now excused. There being no other members of the public who wish to testify on LU 403 relating to the application by Ovi's Place for a sidewalk cafe revocable consent, the public hearing is now closed and the item is laid over. I will now open the public hearing for LUs 400, 401, 402 for the Domino Site B proposal, a private application including a zoning text amendment and two special permits in order to change the previously approved design and site plan for the Domino Sugar redevelopment project. Site changes include the removal of previously proposed Sky Bridge and the changes to various bulk requirements and to loading requirements. This project is located in Councilmember Ressler's district in Brooklyn. I will now call the applicant panel for this proposal, which consists of Bonnie Campbell. Council, can you please administer the affirmation?
Ms. Campbell, would you please raise your right hand? Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before the subcommittee and in answer to all council member questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie. Just please reinstate your name and organization for the record, and you may begin.
Name's Bonnie Campbell. I'm here from Two Trees. First of all, I'd like to thank the council. It's been about 13 years since we've been first presented the master plan for Domino, and you guys have patiently helped us improve the plan as we've executed along the way. I want to especially thank Councilmember Lincoln Ressler, who's been a great partner and collaborator on throughout all of this process and this site in particular to make an improved building, improved housing, and improved public realm. Next slide. So here you can see the original master plan that was approved in 2014. And as I mentioned, we've come back pretty much with every building and every public space to kind of tweak and iterate and improve the architecture, the public realm, the park. Next slide, please. And I'm pleased to say that this is the last Domino building, which is the second from the left there that we're here to talk about today. We call it Site B. It's the last building at Domino. You can go ahead and quickly go through the next several slides. This is just reminding everyone the changes that were made in the park and how successful they've been thanks to the collaboration with you guys, with the local community board, with the local council member. Keep going. And then, as I mentioned, you can keep going through this. We'll go rather quickly. Each building, we've come back with, again, small but meaningful changes to the massing, to the architecture, to really kind of make sure that these do the best for the end users. The refinery, we came back. It's a commercial office building that's been quite successful thanks to the changes. The last time we were here, we were looking at what we call Site D, which is now up and running. Domino Square, the newest part of the public realm. Here, again, thank you to this process to kind of improve the space. It's become a very active public space embraced by the community, ice skating, salsa night, all kinds of community gatherings. Now, you can pause here. We're here to talk about the very last building, Site B. And when we set out to develop it, we really had a couple main objectives. One, we wanted to improve the massing, improve the architecture, and how that improve the housing and the quality of the housing, but also how the building interacts with the public realm. It's a large building, has very sheer frontages, and we really wanted to kind of break that down. And the second was, we started designing this building right when City of Yes was passed, which is exciting. We wanted to see if there was a way we could get more mixed income housing into this jacket without changing the underlying zoning, and we were successfully able to do so, which I'll go through today. Next slide. We hired Rex Architecture. They are responsible for the Perlman Center for Performing Arts down here. They've been excellent. Next slide. To really kind of rethink about the massing. Next slide. First thing was, while these sky bridges were interesting architecturally, they weren't great for the end user. They weren't great for the people who actually live inside of the buildings. So the first thing that the architect recommended was to get rid of those sky bridges. Next slide. Next slide. Next thing was to really think about the base and how the base of the building interacts with the public space and the sidewalk and how to improve that and make it more pedestrian in scale. So pushing down the base of the building. Next slide. Next slide. That actually allows a lot more kind of view corridors and just more light and air through the site as you approach the water. Next slide. Next slide. The other thing we tasked them with doing is in the Domino neighborhood in general, there's some private outdoor spaces for penthouse apartments and other things, and we wanted to see if there was a way to provide private outdoor space across all income bands, across all unit types for every apartment in the building. Next slide. You can kind of click through these. Next slide, next slide. They came up with an innovative way to do it. You can pause here where you have this kind of system of undulating balconies that go all around the facade of the building that allow you to have private outdoor space and light and air all around you, and you're not directly looking into your neighbor's balcony. Next slide. Next slide. And they applied this to the entire facade of the building. So again, every type of unit, every type of affordable housing, everyone will have access to this private outdoor space, which we think is unique in the district and along the waterfront. Next slide. You can see here what that starts to do. The other thing that it does is it breaks down the sheerness of the facade, so it doesn't read like an office building anymore. It really feels pedestrian in scale and residential in scale. Next slide. The next few slides are some of the renderings that show how this kind of unique architecture plays with light and shadow and makes for a pretty dynamic space. Next slide. Kind of keep going. Keep going. Keep going. And then applying the same kind of typology of these kind of undulating glass curtain wall to make the pedestrian realm at the street level more dynamic and interactive. Next slide. Now you can keep going. This is going to show you kind of before and after. This is the new proposed massing. That's the old. Next slide. The new, you can kind of keep going through these different view angles. This is the old top, this is the new. This is the old kind of street wall. And the new, you can see the undulating glass at the street level. It allows us to create kind of nice interaction between the neighborhood retail and the pedestrians accessing the park. We have a nice wide sidewalk. Next slide. Keep going here. That's the old. This is the new. This is comparing the blue is the original ULURP and the red is the new. Keep going. And we took kind of the lessons learned in other pedestrian thoroughfares at Domino with street furniture, with benches, with kind of sidewalk amenities that have made it really a place to be and very pedestrian friendly. Next slide. This is just showing the proposed plan. Again, this building will have wider sidewalks than other buildings in the Domino project because it is so big. So we're providing between 22 and 25 feet here of sidewalk space. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. This is just kind of showing the specific changes to the ULURP envelope that are being proposed to accommodate this unique design. Next slide. And then here are kind of the outcomes. You know, a better architecture, better massing for residential units. We're able to accommodate more family-sized units. As we've developed Domino, the buildings have evolved to, and the demand has evolved for more family-sized units. So this building will be 50% twos and threes to kind of correspond to the neighborhood's changing needs. Again, all unit types, all income levels will have access to this private outdoor space. And this jacket will accommodate the City of Yes deductions, which will result in a net of 100 new units, 20% of which will be at 60% of AMI. Next slide. And this is kind of just an overall, there are no new environmental impacts. They're really design tweaks for the most part. And then just kind of a snapshot of, now that this is the last building for the campus, of what, you know, where we were in 2014 relative to where we are now. You know, in 2014 we were committing to 700 units of affordable housing, and I'm pleased to say that when this building is built, we'll have provided 860 units of affordable housing, outpacing our initial projections and completing the overall master plan. Next slide. And that concludes my presentation. I'll open it up to questions.
Thank you, Bonnie. Just a few questions, not too much. Can you please provide a breakdown of the number of affordable units being provided, the AMI levels they target, and the unit sizes?
Yes, so it's going to be about 50% twos and threes, and then about 25 to 30% ones, and the balance will be studios. The AMIs are, for this building, range between 60% and 130%. So there's 20 units at 60, 88 at 70, 125 at 125, 82 at 130. Site Domino wide, if you're interested, we have about half of the units at 60% and below, and the other half of the units at 70% and above.
Thank you. How would these affordable units be regulated?
Through the process with HPD and the lottery with a third-party partner, nonprofit partner who runs the housing lottery.
Okay. Did you pick a nonprofit yet, or?
Reside.
All right. The building podium is coming down in place of the Promise School. Why was it determined that the school is no longer needed?
Yeah, we wanted to build the school here. SCA had an option to have a school here, and so when we sent them kind of the design notice and engaged them for the design, they did their analysis based on seats in this particular neighborhood and determined that it was not a good use of their resources, and so they declined the option.
Okay. Thank you, Bonnie. That will conclude the questioning. There being no other members of the public who wish to testify on LU 400, 401, and 402 for the Domino Site B proposal, the public hearing is now closed and the items are laid over. Just want to state for the record, we've been joined by Councilmember Salam. I will now open the public hearing on LUs 407 and 408 for the 464 Overton Court rezoning, a private application seeking a zoning map amendment to change an existing R3X zoning district to an R6A zoning district within the Special Bay District, the Special Bay Ridge District, and a related zoning text amendment to map a mandatory inclusionary housing area. The proposed action will facilitate the development of a new 8-story residential building with 40 dwelling units. In addition to the development site, there are also 6 additional sites within the rezoning area, located in Councilmember Brandon's district in Brooklyn. I will now call the applicant panel for this proposal, which consists of Richard LaBelle, Issa Masad, Albiz Saik, excuse me if I mispronounce your name, and Jorge Fontaine. Council, can you please administer the affirmation?
Applicants, would you please raise your right hands, and I will ask you in turn the following, to affirm the following. Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before the subcommittee and in answer to all council member questions? Richard LaBelle.
I do.
Jorge Fontan.
I do.
Essa Masood.
I do.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. For the viewing public, if you need accessible version of this presentation, please send an email request to landusetestimony@council.nyc.gov. Applicant team, you may begin. I just ask that you please reinstate your name and organization for the record.
Thank you, Chair Riley, Councilmember Salam. Richard Lobel of Sheldon Lobel PC for the applicant. We're pleased today to present the 464 Ovington Avenue rezoning. The next slide has a summary of the application. This would be to allow for a rezoning of 2 lots, inclusive of 5 additional portions of lots from an existing R3X district to an R6A district within the Bay Ridge Special District. The application would also involve a zoning text amendment to allow for mandatory inclusionary housing to apply to the project area. This would facilitate the construction of a new 8-story plus cellar residential building with roughly 35,000 square feet, which would include 10 affordable units among 40 total units. This rezoning has had tremendous support from local organizations, including the Bay Ridge Center, Arab American Association, the Bay Ridge Community Development Center, and others. The next slide is a summary of where the proposal stands right now. After meetings with local stakeholders, Community Board 10, and neighbors to the building design was revised. So on the left, you can see the proposed building as originally presented. This included a building which massed on the lot line with the adjacent residential building. And per the revision, as has been reviewed by the council member, there is now a light well and a set-off for that building so that light and air can reach units on the easterly portion of the neighboring building. Also, the number of units, while remaining at 40, the number of 2-bedroom units was increased from 4 to 8. The next slide is a zoning map, which demonstrates the existing zoning, the R3X zoning district within the Bay Ridge Special District. The R3X is not particularly well suited to the site or to the surrounding area. There is already existing R7B on the block, which allows for FARs approaching 4 FAR. There's existing R6B to the east of the site, and the adjacent parcel to the west of the site already has a building which is at a 3.7 approximate FAR, which is already at an R6A zoning density. So including that building within the proposed zoning district area allows for that building to become a complying building. The next slide shows the change in zoning on the zoning change map on the tax map, which shows the site itself highlighted in red. The site is roughly 9,200 square feet and is currently vacant. In addition, as was stated, there's an existing 4-story tall residential building to the west of the site, already built to close to 3.7 FAR, and to the east of the site, a 3-story, 12-unit multifamily building. The next slide shows the area map, which I think well identifies why this is particularly good rezoning for this area. We note that 5th Avenue sits within 150 feet of the site, a wide street at 80 feet wide per zoning. 4th Avenue to the west of the block is at 100 feet wide, also a wide street and a major thoroughfare, and the R subway stop lies within 200 feet of the property. So excellent transportation options, good access to the site, existing building typology, all these things together make for what we think is a meritorious rezoning. We just note the first page of pictures to the next slide shows the existing site to the middle, as well as the adjacent parcels, that tall 4 to 5-story building, as well as the 3-story multifamily building to the east of the site. If you'd like to page through the photographs and go to the first page of the plans, I would have George Fontan briefly discuss the architecture of the site, and then the applicant team is happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, the plans are getting
Okay, good.
partially cut off. Okay. Go to the next slide, please. They're being partially cut off. Can you go to the floor plans? So I'm just going to run through the building quickly. You can't. It's cut off, but okay.
Okay.
Okay. So one thing I want to discuss is the design changes in communication with the community board. The adjacent building had a small light well, and we originally were designing to the property line. So after the community board meetings, yes, exactly. We added the light well adjacent to their light well to give light and air to their property. And then towards the back of our building, we offset 5 feet in order to unobstruct a window that they have, which is just inset from the property line on their side. So we gave them that as well. So that's why the building has the irregular shape. If you go through, oh, here you see it. So next slide, please. And then I'll just go, this is a massing. You can go through these quickly. Here are the floor plans. Just on the floor plans, we have 11 studios, 21 one-bedrooms, 8 two-bedrooms. The studios are 400 to 500 square feet. The one-bedrooms are 660 to 750 square feet. The two-bedrooms are 900 to 1,200 square feet. You can keep going. That's the top floor. We're providing 18 parking spaces. All the units have balconies. And if you keep going, go to the next one. I think we have a rendering and one more slide. Okay.
I think that summarizes the presentation, and we're happy to answer questions.
Sorry.
Okay. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Jorge. Just a couple of questions. How did you arrive at the proposed new density of R68 district?
Yeah, so Chair Riley, we discussed this with city planning and agreed that given the adjacent building that's already built to R6A density, as well as the existence of R7B on the block, that would be appropriate to build at this context. Going to a lower district would reduce the potential number of units to below the existing proposed 40. And so the applicant team, as a matter of policy, thought that given the fact that we are so close to a subway stop, that there's great transportation in the area, that it would be appropriate to recommend an R6A, and both city planning as well as the Brooklyn Borough president agreed with that assessment.
Could you provide a summary of the bedroom mix for the proposed units?
Sure, I'll defer to George.
Yeah, 11 studios, 21 one-bedrooms, and 8 two-bedrooms.
So roughly 75% of the units are one bedroom or above.
Okay. All right. I don't have any more questions. Thank you so much. Your excuse.
Thank you.
All right. There being no other members of the public who wish to testify on LUs 407 and 408 relating to the 464 Arlington Court rezoning, the public hearing is now closed and the items are laid over. I will now open our last public hearing on LUs 405 and 406 for the 58 Nycc Court rezoning, a private application seeking a zoning map amendment to change an R5 zoning district to an R7A and an R7A/C2-4 within the Special Ocean Parkway District and related zoning text amendment to a map, a mandatory inclusionary housing area. The proposed action will facilitate the development of a new 8-story mixed-use building with retail space and approximately 19 dwelling units in Councilmember Brandon's district in Brooklyn. I will now call the applicant panel for this proposal, which consists of Eric Plantnik. Council, can you please administer the affirmation?
Mr. Palatnik, do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in your testimony before the subcommittee in an answer to all council member questions?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Eric, you may begin.
Thank you very much, council member. Thank you for your time. Today on an application for a rezoning of the property that's in front of you at Nixon Court, which is at the end of Ocean Parkway, at the intersection of the Belt Parkway, which is a small 3,500 square foot lot that's currently vacant. And we're requesting permission, if you go to the next slide, please. Requesting permission, it's zoned R5, requesting to rezone it to an R7A slash C2 zoning district. Next slide, please. So this slide shows you the proposed zoning designation and the existing. It's zoned R5 right now. Next slide, please. We spent quite a bit of time meeting with the community board, and there were many concerns raised during that process, resulting in these 7 items that we've agreed to, which reduced the size of the building to 8 stories from the original proposal, which was 9, restricted the ground floor commercial uses so that there would be no objectionable uses, provide more parking spaces than required, agree to not interrupt access to the Belt Parkway, which we would not, enhancing sustainability features, provide opens and landscaping space, and that we were not proposing or working for the building next door, and I'll show you that in a second. Next slide, please. The next slide shows you what the proposal is. The right side of the screen shows you what's proposed. As you read down, you'll see it's proposed to be 8 stories. It'll have 7 parking spaces, 19 apartments. 4 or 6 of those will be fully affordable under either MIH option level 1 or 2. Next slide, please. The site's location at the end of Ocean Parkway, right at the beginning of the Belt Parkway across from Coney Island Hospital, makes it an ideal location for rezoning. Also, as you'll see in later pictures, it is surrounded by taller buildings. Next slide, please. This slide was created to address concerns of the community board that the building next door was somehow going to benefit from the proposed rezoning. That's a taller existing building. This slide demonstrates that they do not benefit at all. Next slide, please. If you can skip ahead maybe 2 slides to the affordability options. There you go. This gives you a good indication of what the affordability will be. If we had 19 units at 25% in MIH option 1, that would create 4 units, and go to the next slide. If it was at option 2, it would create 6 units. Go to the next slide. It's a very interesting slide. That shows you how little affordable housing has been created in the area, so we're hoping you'd be supportive of the application for that reason. Next slide. This gives you the unit mix and shows you how it would break down if it was option level 1 or 2, demonstrating the breakdown between the affordable and the market rate, and demonstrating that the vast majority of the apartments would be 1-bedroom apartments with some studios and some 2 bedrooms. Next slide. This slide is a good slide to show you that the proposed building, which is 8 stories, will fit neatly within the context of the surrounding community. As you could see, we are surrounded by taller multiple dwellings, and this site is just an anomaly that hasn't been developed all these years. But what we're proposing would fit right in. And I could show you that by just, if you could slide right to the end, please. You'll see some, not to the very end, but you'll see some renderings a few slides up. If you could stop at the renderings. I think it's page 17 and 18. There you go. And that gives you a good understanding for what the building will look like when it's done. It's taking full advantage of its triangular shape of the zoning lot, and it's going to mimic in its identity, at least a bit, to the Flatiron building, because that's what the shape of the lot lends itself towards. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. I hope we were comprehensive in our presentation, and that concludes our presentation.
Thank you, Eric. How did you arrive at the proposed rezoning district of a R7A-C2-4?
Because it would have allowed for a building that's contextual with what's surrounding us. That's the as-built condition of the buildings that are surrounding us. Therefore, the R7A seemed like a logical choice.
And do you have an idea of the commercial business that's going to occupy the ground floor?
Yeah, we've been talking to small uses such as a local deli or a grocer or something to get some food. The issue is that the Coney Island Hospital is across the street, and there are no small little stores nearby for people from the hospital to go to get sundries and sodas and snacks and things.
What's
You have to go under the Bell Parkway and go to the other side, a little south.
What is the square root of the commercial space? Do you know?
The commercial spaces, I I'll have to double check. I believe it's about 800 square feet. It's not
Okay.
very large.
All right. All right. Thank you, Eric. I have no more questions. Your excuse. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. There being no other members of the public who wish to testify on LUs 405 and 406 for 58 Nixon Court rezoning, the public hearing is now closed and the items are laid over. That concludes today's business. I would like to thank the members of the public, my colleagues, subcommittee council, land use and council staff, and the sergeant at arms for participating in today's meeting. This meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you.